Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my videos where I'm going to be reviewing two of the Toy Biz Spider-Mans. One from the first movie, and one from the second or third movie, I believe. Anyways, we're going to start off with one of the most affordable options, this guy. This guy is the superposable Spider-Man. You might be saying, why is it called Superposable Spider-Man? It's clearly not this Spider-Man. Why it's called Superposable? Well, the company Toy Biz had a lot of their Spider-Man figures right now called Superposable. And before you ask, no, Toy Biz isn't around. So, this is a Spider-Man from the year 2002. I like to keep my figures in good condition, but keeping this guy in good condition is kind of hard. He is one of the most affordable Spider-Mans, where you can get this guy on eBay for maybe like around $80 to $90. A lot more cheaper than other Spider-Man figures, but so articulation on this guy. He has a weird ball-jointed head, kind of like a spring. He can't look up. Oh, never mind, I guess he can. He also has a problem with his head being a little loose. Joints get loose over time. He does not have individual figure articulation. He only has articulation to do the thwip if he wants to do that with me today. Yeah, he can do the thwip with both hands. Alright, the ab crunch, alright, I guess. Not really, I mean, this is probably one of the best figures you can get in the year 2002. Little toe joints. Swivel. Crunch. Not really crunch, more like joint there. Joint there. You can twist his hips around. You can also, do that. You can also bend his arm. You can twist his arm too. His articulation is good. This guy measures up at around 6 inches. Let's grab another figure from the 6-inch variety from behind us. Let's just grab him. Posed together correctly. They're both around the same height. This figure is an absolute legend for being an OG Spider-Man figure. Going for decent pricing, especially since how old it is. Speaking, I actually did pick up this figure for a lot cheaper at my local flea market. They just had this guy sitting with a bunch of other figures, and one of the other figures I got was this. I do not know where this guy is from. If you guys can tell me, I'd appreciate that. I just knew this guy. They gave me that other figure for, I'd say $3, pretty sure. Anyways, I paid a good $5 for this guy, and it was a good purchase. Anyways, you can get other ones on eBay for around this price range, like I said. And this guy overall, if you don't want a super beefy, posable Spider-Man like this guy over here, this is an amazing option. Anyways, let's get on to big boy over here. Okay, now that we have that stuff clear out of the way, we can now talk about the superposable Spider-Man with over 20 points of articulation. This is one of the most sought-after Spider-Mans in the Tobey Maguire collecting. I personally do like the design of this figure more than the SH Figuarts version, but I might pick up the SH Figuarts version because of how outdated this figure is. Keep in mind, this figure was before, my time, and this isn't like a pristine figure. No, this is an older figure that people before me have owned. So that means, yeah, the joints aren't that good on this guy anymore. He can't hit any Spider-Man poses. Well, at least, not that I know of he can hit any, because for me, his ab crunch sucks. I think if he did not have that part, his ab crunch would be miles better, but this is all he can do. And that's the other part I was going to talk about. His head pops out a lot because it's an older figure that someone else owned before me. And since it pops out now, this does not mean he can bend down his head. His head is permanently like this. I was thinking of maybe getting this fixed, but I do not know anyone who could fix my problems, so I just keep like this. That's why I don't use them a lot in my stop motions. Also, let's just go over his articulation. This is one of the things I praise him for having individual articulated fingers. That means he can have a fist, palms open. You know, you can put down some of his fingers. That's actually one thing I praise. I wish more modern companies would do this instead of giving us other hands, even though I feel other hands are good. Maybe modern companies should be able to give us the joints like this. We can be able to pop them out. Anyways, he has another thing I'd praise him for, his toe joints. Another thing that modern companies should think of. And I like how far he can bend his knee right here. It's the both are same, pretty much. The arms, it could go out this far. If I also, it can turn a bit and go 360. Joint there, joint here, and also swivel. But see, look here, you can also turn that. Same with the other arm. Also, I did not mention this, but you could turn it. Still a really great figure for its time. But if the head was on correctly, and if it wasn't ruined before I was able to pick it up, I would give it a higher score, but I'm going to talk about my final opinions with these two. Okay, final thoughts on both figures. Which one do I think would win? Personally, I have two factors. If you want a cheap, affordable Spider-Man, 100% get this guy. I've already showed you his price range going right now. He's a little more pricey. And personally, which one do I like more out of these two? Probably this one. The only reason I like him more is because he embodies a better, figure of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man from that era. Yes, this one's from the first movie, but this is when I think Tobey Maguire, I think this is the Spider-Man I think of. I don't think of this Spider-Man, I do think of this one. But you might be saying, hey, but this one his joints are all good, he's in alright condition. Why don't you want him and you want this broken figure? Well, the reason is, I mean, look at him. He's one of the most sought-after Spider-Man figures of, well, a long time, actually, because collectors are still fond of him. I am not a collector. I do stop motion and stuff like that. I like getting the figures in my hands. But personally, this would be my favorite. This Spider-Man. But I will say, I like this one to do poses. For example, yeah, he isn't good with articulation, but he can definitely hit more Spider-Man poses than this guy. Okay, anyways, those are my final opinions, but before you click off of this video, here are some poses.